Greetings, fellow horrific roommates. Tiki here.
And BlueDragonFive.
And welcome to another edition of the Main Street Cinema Fan Fest, the show where we take a look at the finer points of fan filmmaking. That's right, Dragon. We're back. This is such good luck that we happened upon this thing right when they're really starting to crack into high gear with the production of it. Harley and Joker versus the real world. We reviewed episode 1 a couple nights ago, right when they first aired episode 2, The Meter Maid, so we're back to talk about that episode. Dragon, we don't know the exact concrete details of the airing schedule, but we do know right now, at least in the short term, it looks like they're going to be releasing episodes monthly, and then there's a Patreon campaign. If you donate to that, you can watch them a little early. So we will certainly be reviewing these episodes as they come online. Really excited about this new series. It's very fun, Dragon. It's very fun.
Oh yeah, I knew it right from the get-go. This is going to be a good show because that first episode entranced me so much in the month that it debuted. And again, it's really when we were just doing this thing, it just happened. Remember, I told you just earlier today, like, by the way, I have to watch episode 2 because we should consider doing episode 2 along with this. It's just dropped, and I watched episode 2. Oh my god, we have to do episode 2. It's so good.
Okay, so here we are about to do it, Dragon. Anything you want to say as a thesis statement before we dive into the recap?
So, just to recap the information we do know, this is the brainchild, it seems like, of the Just Giggle It YouTube channel, which I want to say it's led by Joshua Thomas because he directed the first one, so I'm assuming he does all the update videos, so I'm assuming he's the showrunner. Mm-hmm. So Joshua Thomas, I mean, the guy who plays the Joker, by the way. They've done other videos, they've done other shorts, which, are good. Some of them not my taste, but nothing against, like, the quality that's put into them. But I got to tell you, I mean, this series, though, from what I've seen, is my favorite thing they've done. Because I've subscribed to them recently just to kind of, get this kind of brought to my doorstep because it's so great. It's series,
right.
And Brianna Oppenheimer, these people seem to really have their act together, Tiki. They do on a monthly basis. They pay attention to the comments. They read them good and bad. I mean, I respect the heck out of these guys, I really do. And as like I've looked at the comments, I see that like even various people involved in the show do kind of comment and answer people's questions. Really nice folks there. It seems like.
Sure.
Yes, props to do so. We're talking about episode 2, which is, as you can see, The Meter Maid, and boy, oh, I love this episode. We're gonna get into that beat by beat, kind of give this thing the proper kind of breakdown it deserves. Going to talk about every little tidbit of it. Let me establish the premise, and then we'll get going.
Go ahead.
Of our one-sentence premise, if you will, is Joker and Harley. Again, I love just the simplistic premises that bring all this interesting stuff to us here. Is that Joker and Harley set out to fulfill a to-do list until they get a ticket from a meter maid, which leads to dark hilarity. And that's the premise of the episode.
Oh yeah. Okay, so let's just dive right into it. So Joker and Harley are driving around L.A., and Joker is, he's very skeptical. He's like, Harley, what is this thing Addison let us borrow?
Yeah, so they're running errands. And they're driving Addison's Prius.
It's a Toyota Prius. It's great on gas. It's a hybrid.
Just despite the good gas mileage, Joker doesn't like it, and he promises, I love
nothing matter.
I just love the instant commitment and dedication, and the seriousness in this Joker. Just he promises he promises with all the sincerity in the world, I'm going to set it on fire.
Right.
I'm going to set it on fire. It's like not over the top or anything. Just very, very bluntly says, I'm going to set it on fire. And then just, okay, I'll add it to the list. Add a new car to the do list. Okay, Joker will not drive a Prius. I love the Joker has this respectability of like, I'll drive around anything, a clown car even, but not a Prius.
So I have his to-do list if you want to go over it.
Sure. We got a lot of Joker reaction comedy through this to the list, just seeing him, like, as it's being read off to him, he responds to it just in these hilarious ways. So go on.
Okay, so start a new gang.
Yep.
Establish dominance.
Can't have a gang without dominance.
Pick up milk.
2%.
Sign up for an improv class.
Yep.
Inquire about a gun and a knife guy.
Yep. Nicholas in Rowe.
Work on your solid 3 minutes of stand-up.
And the new car.
And the new car.
Yeah, I love that Joker right off the bat. He questions the milk. He says,
milk? Why's the milk on there?
As Harley points out, no, ask him requested. Again, I just love this. The show is just coursing with kind of the day-to-day mundanity. It's so awesome. The Joker has to pick up milk for his roommate. It's Addison's request, and I love this. Just this, again, this is this show has such a great button on one of the best things with any Joker. You just want that kind of that scary yet hilarious randomness the Joker has.
Sure.
And he's so, Harley points out, she wants 2%, and just Joker very seriously says, she'll get Holland like it. Just the dedication over these little details. What I'm loving about this Joker so much.
Definitely.
So as Joker parallel parks, as Harley's she's giving a laugh about something, says, Harley, I'm parallel parking. Oop. They have such great chemistry and timing, these two.
And they say everyone complains about the parking in L.A. And then this is a great time gag here where Harley's just like, maybe it's a joke, Mr. J. And then I love this Dragon. This is a great running thing with this series is that, Joker scolds Harley for laughing in the wrong times,
Yep. Which is very akin to the animated series. Joker hates it when she ruins the joke. He really or steals the punchline. He can't stand it. And I love that in the subscribe video. At the very end they have a little box before the post credit scene where it's hey, hit the subscribe button. That's always as I mentioned before in the first episode. The running gag is Joker hates Harley getting the last line.
Right.
So let's see. I do wonder how dark. I wonder if they're going to go at some point highlight the darkness of the Joker Harley thing. I mean, they're skirting around. They're doing it. I'm not criticizing it for it. I'm just curious if they're going to go in the scary direction with that or not.
Yeah, it's interesting. I definitely think the show, on the surface level, it's very jokey. It's very much kind of one step away from a Mad TV parody, from a good Mad TV parody. But I think the great thing about this show, Dragon, is the beyond the surface level, oh, haha, it's the Joker and Harley in a really funny situation. Let's laugh at it. There really are, especially in the performances, there really are nuances to what they're trying to get across. And even oddly enough, through 2 episodes, kind of a weird kind of running storyline and arc for these two.
Oh yeah, it's just Joker he's kind of learning life in LA pretty much, and he's kind of changing the people's lives around him as much as he's implementing new methods. He's giving people more chances, and it's working to his advantage so far. It's kind of the overall arc I'm picking up on so far.
Sure.
Let's see. So again, as Joker parallel parks, he's instantly wowed by the backup camera. Says, "Okay, score 1 for the priest." So unfortunately, someone takes his space.
Oh boy!
And I love this. Again, this is what I'm talking about with that premise, Teague. If the Joker's kind of giving LA kind of the fair chance, that he's, it's he tells very, very simply. I just love the Joker's the most. It takes me back to, oddly enough, the first appearance of Harley Quinn. By the way, I'm going to say this. I was going to say this more towards final thoughts, but I might as well say a little bit now. Is that this episode feels very Paul Dini written. I mean, don't know. The first one kind of skirted around that a little bit. This one directly feels like a Paul Dini premise, Teague, because Paul Dini did this great thing, especially with his main episode introduced Harley Quinn, the Joker's Favor, where Joker is driving and a guy like him, he by standards and practices, bear in mind, he curses out the Joker. He says, "Hey, how you learn to drive like that, you clown?" And he finds it's the Joker, and the Joker stalks him, and it's terrifying.
Oh man! Oh damn! That sounds intense.
And the point is, Joker kind of basically does what he does to this guy in the episode. Don't know, it's different, and it's more sadistic in this version than the animated series in a way, but. It's very Dini-esque, and I love it. It's kind of like a very light premise, but it's also very dark implications. And it's such a Joker in that episode. He's a very courteous driver, and that's why he victimizes this guy because he was uncourteous to him while he was driving.
Sure.
So the point is, here is Joker's being very curious. He's not saying Harley flip him off or anything. He's Harley communicate the confusion because this guy took my space. Harley expressed that this is not something you do. Harley just she doesn't she just goes hey, what are you doing? That's our space. Mm-hmm. The guy flips to the bird and he says, well, return the gesture. Harley goes when in Rome. When in Rome, and then he does a little flipping off the scruff the neck sort of thing, and things after more gestures happen. Rome's about to be overthrown because then Joker gets out of the car to communicate with the driver. He confronts the driver again. He's being very civil, just going to ask him what's going on. The guy right off the bat is challenging Joker, which unfortunately
this is great. The guy is just well, you know what? Why don't you just kill me over it?
So I don't know if LA drivers are all like this. If that's going to be I don't know. But because I know road rage these days is really dangerous for people who get out of their cars and they have that risk. So this guy just asking, "Hey, you're gonna kill me? Why don't you kill me already?" And then Joker's a moment of pause. This idiot says this to the Joker.
Contemplating it. It's like it's a moment of like moral ambiguity for the Joker. You know what I mean?
And the Joker's a man of timing and setup in terms of comedy, so he knows too easy. Then he walks off. Again, I love the fact that Joker, he's actually he's an exercise in civility. Joker's being extremely patient. Too easy. And then the stupid guy, he tells the freaks to get out of here.
Oh, yeah. Dragon, again, one of the things I like about this episode, a lot of callbacks to the first episode, kind of that they're really kind of doing these running things, these running motifs.
Yep, and you never, again, that running motif of kind of the Marty McFly chicken thing only done even better. Just the whole, you don't call a Joker freak.
Oh, yeah.
Which leads to, again, the timing and the editing was really good on this one. I want to point that out. I think we had more clever editing in this episode.
Mm-hmm.
Not the editing was bad in the other one. I'm saying now you have a lot more, it's a longer episode. You have more opportunity.
And also, I think there's more locations as well, whereas the first one, for the most part, only took place in the apartment.
It was apartment and parking. We only had 2 locations in the first episode, the apartment and parking garage.
Right.
So here it's really great. Again, the timing on this, and again, it's timing and editing of just Joker walking back. He stops in his place, and you hear kind of the tension building, and then we cut to Harley, and as Harley is overheard, this is uh-oh, just the Harley. Brianna Oppenheimer is a really good Harley Quinn.
Yeah,
I really like this Harley Quinn. She has again, it's a great mix of Suicide Squad and animated series Harley Quinn for that. So again, they're both kind of similar in what they're doing there, but it's a very good mixture with their own stuff thrown in there. I assume she's bringing something additional to the role too. She's kind of bringing that glue that melds the two together, I guess. Anyways, point is that is just so perfect, and then Harley. Harley points out to the Joker as he comes closer. Hey, Puddin', he's driving a Benz.
And don't I know it?
So Joker says, you know what I love about LA? He says something along the lines of, you know what I love about LA? Road rage. And I love that he just doesn't kill him the same way each time, dude, because the Joker would vary his methods. I love that Joker strangles him.
Sure.
It's so creepy. just strangles him in broad daylight. No one does anything.
Which does sound like something that would happen in LA.
But here's what's so great about it, too. This is what gives it the Joker stamp, because we've seen other superhero films this year, people just mercilessly strangling someone in a car. I won't spoil it for anyone, I'm just saying. But still, I love I just love the fact that this is actually what Joker would do. As he's strangling him, he would mock him as he's strangling the life out of his body. As he's mocking him, I drive a fancy car. I steal people's secrets.
Great performance,
and then Harley,
great conviction.
Again, the editing is perfect on Steve, because as that's happening, as Joker's murdering this douchebag, Harley just crosses off happily, crosses off, get a new car on the list.
Yeah.
So again, then we see Joker and Harley, they've run off, they got some errands, and I assume they're getting milk with those errands, by the way, that's my guess. And then they go back to the Benz, their new Benz, and their new Benz is receiving a ticket from a meter maid.
Not Judy Hobbs.
Yeah, of course, because we would never want anything bad before Judy Hobbs. No, but this is great, though, is that I love this. It's not just the fact that Joker has received a ticket. Again, this is a very oddly enough, law-abiding Joker. Never thought I'd have to say that, a law-abiding Joker.
Exactly.
But the fact that, again, it's not just the fact that, hey, someone gives me a ticket. It's not like the classic Joker thing. No, it's the fact that, and this fits very in line with the Laughing Fish sort of copyright obsessed Joker, that the Joker has some sort of logic to his madness.
Mm-hmm.
Is the fact that the meter maid is giving him a ticket for being 2 minutes late, because they're there at 5 and they're on their way there. So it's not like they were gonna not show up. They're 2 minutes past when they're supposed to leave, and the guy's giving them a ticket.
Right, which definitely one of the things I really like about this episode is how we kind of got the idea with the boyfriend from the first episode where he was a real scumbag.
Yeah.
And now with this guy's a scumbag, but it's kind of de-escalating scumbag levels. This guy's maybe doing his job a little too efficiently, not really cutting people a break. I don't think he's physically hurting anyone.
No, but he is enjoying what he's doing way too much.
Of course. But we get I think this is a running theme with this show, Dragon. I think this is probably what most of the episodes are going to focus on, is this idea of Joker and Harley exacting almost kind of like twisted Batman-like vigilante vengeance.
Yeah.
On these poor saps from LA who are just kind of rude to them.
Yeah, I tell you, it's again, T, I keep going back to this, the best kind of description I can have for this series. It's very much like that Denny O'Neil Joker run of like your Joker's your main character, and you have to be able to follow him and kind of at least be in a position where you can somewhat root for him.
Right.
Aside from just being entertained by his antics, you have to somewhat root for him if he's your main character.
Mm-hmm.
So again, Joker politely at first he politely asked him not to make. Please don't make the mistake. Again, please, I can't believe I'm going to try this, but please don't make the mistake of writing that ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And then this you gotta admit, this guy does have it coming. Come on.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Because he says, next time have better time management. He points, the guy just pushes and he's just insulting Joker, and I just love the way he presses the ticket to Joker's lapel, like this guy. I mean, come on, and then Joker's response is so great. It's like, "Will do." And I love this on the side, by the way. This cracked me up every time I watch this. I keep losing. It's so hysterical to me. It's just to the side as this conversation's been going on. Harley's been doing her angry dance. Doing a little anger dance, like this is absolute. This is the animated series Harley Quinn antics that I loved. It's like, oh my god, it's so hilarious. It's like that little that. Oh my god, I give props to Oppenheimer's doing that perfectly. Just anyway, I'm not doing any justice just saying, oh, but I guess you just like a pro. No. Anyway, so Joker tells Harley to take the Prius home. Take the Prius home. He still can't stand that Prius. Then meet me in the laundry room. Mm-hmm. It says the laundry room. And it basically says, we have dirty laundry to take care of.
Oh boy.
Again, kind of. Say they're about to get intimate.
But kind of getting into the the Dexter-like, taking out the trash kind of dynamic of this guy. He might not even classify at all as a criminal, but he is a douchebag. He is someone that gets off on other people's misery, and Joker don't like that.
Yeah. And I love this too. We see kind of proof of this on the side, just to make sure, just to clinch it, that this guy's he's chewing at another guy for a very minor infraction or something.
Right.
Basically, it's like the battery ran, like the light on the meter changed or something. It's very minor because he was there, but then the light changed. I don't know what it was.
It's blinking red, sir.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah.
And it looks like Joker and Harley have and again, they also have some kind of romantic tension a little bit at the time. You're saying played for comedic effect, which is proper. So he says, one more thing. Where's your bat? Grabs the bat, and I love this Looney Tunes manner of which in the background gag in this Looney Tunes way, Joe's he's toying with the bat, and he's clicking it to his heels, and he's just taps him on the shoulder and wow, owie kablowie, hey, it's Howie awakening.
Yep.
So Howie awakens, our meter maid, who we will learn his name, Howie.
That kind of rhymes with kablowie.
Oh, yeah, it's a great one. So Joker and Harley greet him. I love that Joker's wearing the sunglasses, by the way, and he's around, he's tossing around a rock. And he, Howie's questioning what's going on, and Joker's saying, he without sin cast the first stone, makes him throw the rock. Well, it looks like you got some sin. Just now he's begging for his life. He's saying, "Oh, please, it's just that job."
Harley gets really scary here, though. She gets all up in his face, and she's like, "You'll go to hell before you ever get out of here." Oh my god.
Oh yeah, well seriously, you do not want to cross Harley Quinn.
No, of course, but I think
she dedicates herself. I'm sorry.
No, I definitely think that's probably the darkest we've seen from Harley in this series so far. Is that little Anyways, I'm sorry.
Remember, she dedicates herself to a madman, so she's willing to. She's
sure.
In some ways, I mean, scarier in her devotion. Basically, if you think Joker's obsessed with Batman, I mean, there's also a line of how much Harley's obsessed with Joker. She has nothing else but the Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, they're both scarily obsessed. Anyway, Let's see, moving forward. So you cast the first stone. Yeah, right. Then we have the Howie Kablowie bit. Harley terrifies him for the moment. I love this stuff. It's hysterical to me. Howie offers to tear the ticket up now. Offers to tear the ticket up now, and Joker says, "I've earned that ticket."
Oh God!
And then Harley says, "And then Addison's dog peed on the ashes." And then I love Joker's like again that great little. She's harsh on Joker's.
Tension. Yeah.
Joker's just kind of like Harley. It's like telling, "Ooh." Oh yeah, it's great. Like, Harley, I'm trying to make a point.
It's like Harley probably is the better comedian out of the two, but Joker just resents that so much.
Yeah. Anyway, so then we have. You want to take us to? I know you love this movie. You take us to the next reference.
Oh God, where are we?
Well, right after the whole dog pee on the ashes. The reference to let's play a game.
Dude, I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm lost on my notes.
Point is, we have a Saw reference.
I don't love Saw.
Sure, I thought you told me you liked Saw.
No, I don't love Saw at all. I mean, I think Saw is I can see Saw being an influence on some of the things we talk about, but I don't love it. But yeah, you're right. I'm sorry. So yeah, he's like, it's time to play a game. And then I love how Harley's just like, we can't say that. But I saw what you did there.
That is pretty clever. It's all cute. I like this cutesy humor between Joker and Harley. They love every little punchline. They love every little pun.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Dry. It's just like you said that it was a movie that I really liked, and like I said, it's a movie I reference, but I don't have a huge affinity.
I'm saying you referenced it a number of times early on.
Fair enough. I'm sorry.
Anyway, moving forward from the Saw.
Yeah.
So let's see. I love this though. This to me is such a great. Again, this is such a kind of DDS scheme. I mean, I also want to highlight the originality. It feels like an original Joker scheme, and I love the tension. I also love kind of the questioning if it's a mind game or not too, because you got to wonder how anyone would be able to rig this up. But then again, Joker would be the one to do it. So I just love that Joker gives Howie frames it as, "I'm giving you the 2 minutes that you wouldn't give me."
Right.
I love that idea. It's like he has 2 minutes to escape Kablowie before the dryer blows up, or basically it's a very Saw-like position of I'm going to give you 2 minutes that you wouldn't give me, so you can escape or find more quarters. Otherwise, you're going to blow up.
Here's the thing about meter maids. Yes, it's true. I'm a bad guy, but you're pure evil.
I know. His love, just the sincerity behind that comment. Joker genuinely believes that.
Oh yeah.
The meter maids are more evil than him. The man who's beaten a Robin to death with a crowbar thinks that meter maids are pure evil.
Oh God.
But anyway, seriously, it's such a brilliant setup. This is exactly what the Joker would do. He would, if a guy stymied him by 2 minutes, he'd use that against him. It makes all the sense in the world. I'm so impressed by that. And again, so he leaves, and Howie's left with 2 minutes on the clock, and he's panicking, and there's no way, he's too lazy again. He can't jump the chair out the door.
Then we get to my favorite character in the episode, I think.
Oh, yes, I love this. I love her. I love Mrs. Erickson.
She's great. She's so charmed by Harley and Jay.
Okay, so they run into Mrs. Erickson.
Mrs. Erickson, feel free to go down and use the laundry room, but we're doing a role-playing game down there, so no matter what he says, don't let Howie go.
She's game, and I love this though. I told you this runner is at. It's game, and you and your games. He says,
kids have too much fun. Are you hipsters?
And then we have this. No.
We ain't
hipsters. I really hope they bring that back every episode, honestly.
Oh, I'm pretty sure it seems like that's a runner. It definitely seems
I just wonder if they're going to change it up I wonder if they're going to run out of ideas.
It's kind of in the same vein as the whole calling them a freak thing. I definitely think it's part of the DNA of the show right now.
I'm just saying, I wonder, the hipsters and juggalos, because those will be the two comparisons for them. I'm just wondering what else you have to compare. Mimes? What's next? I don't get it.
We ain't mimes.
I'm just wondering, what... I mean, maybe Goth, is that one that maybe they could pass?
I could potentially see Goth, yes.
I will say, I'm just wondering because I don't know. Points I do love it. I do hope they keep bringing it back because it's so hysterical. This Conviction again. The Conviction's so great in these performances.
And speaking of Conviction, I just love how genuinely the Joker likes Mr. Erickson.
I know he has a sweet spot for, as he mentions the Harley. Again, Mrs. Erickson is so awesome. Because remember, we have this really great moment where after she leaves, is okay, you're crazy kid. It's a great foreign old neighbor, and everything they get go to. Like she also. It's kind of like that friendly neighbor who kind of likes the young guy, that sort of thing we've seen before.
Right.
Or it's like how's Mr. Erickson? How are things between you and Mr. Erickson? Like the drought? How's Mr. Erickson treating you? Like the drought? I mean, she definitely takes a liking to the joke. Anyway, so also great actors on Mrs. Erickson's. Like these are the characters you would see in a comic and just kind of brought to life. I'm just so glad stunt cast just like so perfectly with Mrs. Erickson. I think it feels very Deanie-esque. I don't mean to keep repeating myself. You gotta take my word for it.
You're kind of repeating yourself, so
I know, but you gotta take my word for it. It's like pulled straight out what he would have in the comic.
Fair enough.
Anyway, as there. So Joker says, "Oh yeah, I have a sweet spot for her," and I love this is so pleasant. She says, Harley shares that. Oh, she even baked oatmeal raisin cookies for it. Cookies for you? Are they oatmeal raisin? Yep. Yeah, because I threatened to kill her if she brought me chocolate chip.
Oh God.
And then Harley has again such a Looney Tunes realization or something like such a cartoony realization. Harley realizes, Lassie style.
Erickson, Howie. The bomb!
What is it, Harley? Spit it out. Just it's such a Lassie style, what is it, Harley? Where's Timmy trapped? Yeah, that sort of thing.
Right.
The bomb, and then Joker's straight to camera, fourth wall.
Oh no.
Then we have the dark yet kind of black comedy hilarious scene of Mrs. Erickson playing along while Howie, a man bleeding strapped to a chair, is begging. Again,
I'm not going to ruin your fun little game with Jay.
Not with the best of manners, which if I were in Howie's position, I would desperately, politely beg for someone to help me. I wouldn't chastise.
He's trying to kill me with a bomb, you crazy old woman.
Yeah, that was really, again, we saw how pleasant Joker was to Mrs. Erickson. We saw
I can see Jay's friends don't have the same kind of manners he does.
Yeah. And the clock's winding down. In the final seconds, he makes his last rites. He says, "Sorry for enjoying it, for being basically being a prickish meter maid." And he says, "Oh, my mother's gonna find porn on my iPad." And then let's see. So then it goes to 0, and then 30 minutes are added to the clock. Thanks to Mrs. Erickson. And now. Tiki, initially I had a problem. As I saw in the comments, they kind of cleared this up. So I want to make this. So basically, Joker and Harley, they show up in kind of construction garb.
Mm-hmm.
And then 10 seconds later, they're back in their regular costumes. That's just them kind of playing with the conceit of Joker. Joker's a little otherworldly in that regard. It's they were expecting to walk through debris and everything.
Yeah, that's what I got out of it. I was fine with it.
I was saying initially, I wasn't holding against the episode or anything. I was just curious, where the heck did that? That was kind of random.
Mm-hmm.
But thinking that was the closest thing I had to a fault in the episode. That's my point. Now that's even been cleared. It's a great episode. Anyway, Mrs. Erickson explains, I put more quarters in. These dryers are notorious for taking longer.
The Joker's just like, oh, that's so thoughtful.
Yeah. And I love that she jokingly says, I'll charge you interest for the quarters later. She's so nice, that Mrs. Erickson.
Oh, I just love you guys.
Mrs. Erickson, don't make me kill you.
Oh, God.
Anyway, so I love this, too, is that, then it's Joker makes it a point to Howie. See, it's not so hard to give more time.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Love you guys, don't make me kill you. And then, I love this too. This again, show your root. Oddly, again, it's such a trippy experience, Tiki, that we're rooting for the Joker like this. Is that he gets Howie to thank Mrs. Erickson.
Right.
Oh, this is actually Howie's laundry in there. So you actually have Howie. He says, "Oh, well, Howie, it's not a problem. But pay it forward and watch your mouth." Again, that watch your mouth. I'm convinced is why the Joker loves Mrs. Erickson. She could stand up to anybody like that.
Totally.
Anyway, so let's see. So Joker notices, Howie, were you ready to die? Anyway, I love that Mrs. Erickson, again, Tiki, this is the premise of the show. LA Life is giving Joker kind of new A material.
Of course.
It's showing him that he got an idea from Mrs. Erickson, the pay it forward idea. So instead of just killing this guy, like, well, I could kill you, or you could pay it forward. Again, he's using the idea, which is part of the Joker, to make Howie a henchman to the Joker, which I thought was brilliant. I'm so glad they went that direction, T.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting kind of wrinkle in the plot that'll be fun to see explored in the future for sure.
Making him into a henchman to pay his debt, which again is very akin to that. Again, the reason I keep repeating the guy's name, because again, he kind of turns the guy in begging for his life into a henchman. Basically, owes the Joker a favor, hence the title, Joker's Favor. Mm-hmm. He has to do one thing for the Joker, and like for a year, the guy's like looking over his shoulder for the Joker until he calls him randomly one day. Anyway, so the point is Joker has a henchman, and then kind of our thing before we reach kind of our post-credit stuff is they're all eating those cookies, because remember, Mrs. Erickson baked oatmeal cookies.
Oh yeah.
And as Addison walks in, I gotta tell you, I love that Addison. She's so darn pleasant. I wonder, we didn't really get a lot of character stuff with her, because we had a really great ending of the first episode with Addison, kind of a question of how complicit she's going to be with Joker and Harley's actions going forward.
Yeah, that's true. That's kind of a question mark for her right now. I could see it going either way.
I mean, to be fair, she didn't have a lot.
I could see her being, like, oblivious to it. I could see her being, like, begrudgingly okay with it. I could see a scenario where Joker and Harley kind of, like, turn her on to the whole idea of it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of pulling for that one, Tiki. I mean, we'll see. I think it's a progression. I mean, she didn't have a lot. She wasn't really the focus of this episode, so that's why they didn't really continue that plot line. But again, going forward, I mean, I'm so intrigued by that ending of that first episode with Addison. I also do think she's genuinely pleasant. So either way they go, I think they'll be safe. But again, the first way would be so much interesting. It would be very interesting. Anyway, so again, she brings up the 2% milk gag. She brings up the 2% milk. I thought I asked for 2%.
Oh God!
And I just love it. Did she really say that? And just even so,
did.
This motivates Joker's post-credit actions.
Of course.
And I love that we have the subscriber thing of like Joker wants the last word, and Addison's on the side. Like she's trying to get like a little word in for the last word, and then she's terrified by the Joker, so she backs out of the frame. That's pretty funny.
All right,
so take us to the post-credit.
Post-credits? I didn't even know we had a post-credits.
I told you it's a...
Is it after the subscribe thing?
Yes.
It's after the subscribe thing. I'm sorry. I thought the subscribe thing was the post-credits.
Which part of watch till the end anyway? So look, here's the post-credits real simple. It's just I'm going to spoil it for you then.
Yeah, I don't care. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Here's the post-credits thing. Really clever. Again, so the idea is the milk thing motivated Joker to fulfill his promise from the beginning of the episode, so he lights the Prius on fire.
Oh, okay. Nice.
He lights it. He has a thing of gas. He puts it on there. He kind of leads a trail. He says, "Oh no, Addison, your car's on fire!" And lights the match, and then lights a blaze, and that's the end of the episode.
Okay, well, I'm terribly sorry I missed that. Like I said, for some reason I just thought the subscribe thing was the post credits. I'm so sorry, but sounds fun. Dragon, it's very intriguing that we're going to get this about once a month now. I can't wait to see where it goes from here. I think they very much set up some interesting dynamics. Like, I don't think we can really look at it in the same way that we'd look at a normal TV show, in kinds of kind of expect like large, like overarching plots for all these characters. But at least for the overall premise of the show and for kind of the driving point of the show, I think they've got a good groove going.
I will say this. I mean, in a day and age where you have shows like Zorn on, I mean, I would, if this was on TV, I would definitely watch it.
Oh, definitely, absolutely.
I was saying it's like we're in a day and age where this being on TV has a really good, story and acting on. I mean, I could definitely see this on a product of this quality being on TV. Absolutely.
Sure. Any final thoughts, Dragon? I kind of said my piece.
So here are my final thoughts. So again, I love this even more in the first episode. I mean, again, so the first episode is really good. I mean, it's a really good introduction. It's a good kind of pilot piece, if you will. But this episode really is getting us into everything I love about the show, but magnified. It's a little longer too. I mean, I don't know if they're going to keep up the length consistently or not, but it was good. It was really funny. Last time I'll say, because it's in the notes, I'll just say it was again very Paul Dini in the writing. Hopefully, I won't say that because this one literally is pulled kind of very similar to a Paul Dini episode. That's the reason I keep bringing it up this one. So hopefully in the future. But again, I'm not holding that against him because again, I freaking love Paul Dini. I love that, like episode 1, amongst the hilarity, there is development on two fronts. We're building Joker's building a gang, starting with Howie. Which is good. It makes me curious. We're going to get other characters joining the gang. Because, he needs a knife guy, and he needs building a bunch of guys. Maybe we'll see Raul and Nicholas. Who knows?
Mm-hmm.
Other thing, and I think is the big question we should consider going forward, Tiki, is building to what Joker and Harley's plan / goal in LA is. Because they're working on something. They're getting the gang together. They do have plans to do stuff. So you can wonder what their long scale.
I would like to think that their long scale thing with LA is maybe corrupting LA even more than it's already been corrupted. Like let's say Gotham is it's even more of a challenge than Gotham, and Joker likes a good challenge. I don't know.
Yeah, I think on some level it might be to make LA basically Joker. What if the premise is Joker gets homesick, so he makes LA like Gotham?
Yeah, I could see that. I like where you're going with that.
If that's kind of your the general premise.
And he's doing it kind of coming not from a place of malice, just from kind of a place of nostalgia.
Yeah, and if you want to make it again, I don't know how long term, because I want to say there was talk of 6 episodes for the first season. I don't know how many episodes they're going to do. So
sure.
Point is, if they kind of play the long term of this, what they could do is you go again. We have the hilarious kind of fun route we're going now. Joker kind of taking to LA life as kind of an inspiration for kind of a new take on himself in a way. And at some point in the series, he really reaches a low point where something. I'm saying, what if Joker's low point is Harley walks out on him and he's just really ticked off, and LA life really spirals out of control for him for an episode. At the very end, it's things aren't working out for the Joker. It's LA life is not looking like he wants to, so he gets homesick and he figures, how I've lost Harley, and I don't have a zest for life anymore. If only I could go back to a simpler time. And then Joker gets a light bulb moment at the end of the episode, terrifyingly be, you know what? LA could use a more familiar touch. Okay. Something to make it feel like home. That'll get Harley back.
Yeah.
That'll fix everything. And maybe that's what gets Batman into the fray of oh my god, Joker's causing havoc in LA. We gotta fix things. I don't know, that's just speculation. Anyway, the last thing is again, Joker changing the people in LA is a really good premise. More so, it's Joker altering. I'm sorry, it's all the stuff I already said before. I'm eager for the next episode. Very eager for the next episode. This is a material. I'm loving this show.
Yeah, me too, folks. We'll definitely be checking out some more fan films along the way, kind of maybe transitioning a little bit out of the crossover demographic we've gotten ourselves into, looking at some other stuff. But certainly with this show, as soon as a new episode comes up, we will be talking about it. Very interested to keep track. All right, Dragon. So without further ado, thanks for joining us, and catch you next time on the Main Street Cinema Fan Fest.
Remember, pay it forward.
Oh, I'm not going to ruin your little game with Jay.